Hey, good morning. My name's Rich Harding, and I'm with PFL Petroleum. The rest of the VIPs are at Suarez in Texas this week, so I welcome you to our podcast this morning for the week ending March 14th, 2026. And overnight trading, Dow futures traded higher and are expected to open at 46,952 this morning, up 66 points from Friday's close. Well, that would be a relief. It was down week for equities last week. The Dow dropped 943 points on the week, closing Friday at 46,558. The S&P and NASDAQ also finished lower. Everybody took a hit last week. On the energy side, West Texas Intermediate had a strong week. WTI closed Friday at $98.71 per barrel, up $7.81 on the week, up nearly 3% on Friday alone. WTI is expected to open this morning at $98.91, up 20 cents from Friday's close. That's a pretty moderate increase. The story behind that move is the Strait of Hormuz. Following strikes in Iran in late February, Western-aligned tanker traffic through the strait has effectively halted. Over 150 vessels were anchored outside the strait by early last week. The IEA responded with the largest ever emergency reserve release. 400 million barrels, which sounds significant, but only represents less than 20 days of the roughly 20 million barrels per day the strait normally carries. The price signal is real. The impact on North American rail economics, at least for now, is not. On commercial inventories, crude stocks built by 3.8 million barrels last week, sitting at 2% below the 5-year average. Gasoline drew down 3.7 million barrels, but remains 5% above the 5-year average. Propane drew down 1.7 million barrels, still sitting 53% above its 5-year average, a notable surplus heading into the shoulder season. The North American rig count was mixed. The U.S. added 2 rigs week over week, now at 553 active rigs, though that's 39 rigs behind where we were a year ago. Canada shed 8 rigs, landing at 197. Collectively, North America is down 41 rigs year over year. And those rigs don't come right back up, folks. It takes a little while to get them going. On the rail side, total North American volumes were essentially flat, up just over 0.5% versus the same week last year. Carloads outperformed at 2.4% year over year, while intermodal slipped 1.1%. The biggest mover up was coal, climbing 14.2%. The biggest drag was forest products, down 17%. A few stories worth mentioning this week. BP's Whiting Refinery in Indiana, the largest in the U.S. Midwest and a key processor of Canadian crude at 440,000 barrels per day, is heading toward a potential strike. The union rejected BP's contract offer by 98%, and strike preparations are underway. A work stoppage there would tighten distillate supply across the Midwest and pull more refined product movement to rail and barge. On fertilizer, the Hormuz closing is landing the worst possible time. Nitrogen prices have surged 30 to 44% in just under 2 weeks. If enough farmers cut back on application this spring, we could see softer grain volumes moving to rail in the back half of 26, right when hopper car demand normally peaks. Probably see higher grain prices too. And on the ethanol, retail gasoline surged nearly 49 cents per gallon last week, the largest single weekly jump in 4 years. That's making E15 meaningfully cheaper at the pump, and ethanol moves almost exclusively by rail. The demand signal is there. PFL is here to help you with all your railcar needs: storage, leasing, subleasing, car cleaning, repair, flaring, lease return, scrapping, nitrogen generation, and transloading. Please read today's rail report. We expand on a lot of today's topics and more. This report and the PO podcast is useful to you. Please pass it on to your colleagues who could benefit. Never has then never will be charged for any PFL report. If you are not set up to receive any other reports, please call the desk and we will get you set up immediately. That's your weekly market update. I'm Rich on behalf of PFL. Have a great week and enjoy Suarez as most of you are there. One last note, Curtis, Brian, David, and Cindy from our Calgary office are all at Suarez today. If you're not meeting with any of them, please reach out. They will be happy to meet with you. We also have a table at the show, so please stop by and say hello. Thank you very much and have a great week.